OK, thank you, guys. Next month marks a huge milestone for a staple of the Australian small screen. It's been 25 years since we first went to Drover's Run.
Tess. You look like your mother.
Hi.
Launching in 2001, McLeod's Daughters was an instant hit and quickly became one of the most popular series in TV history, catapulting its actors into household names. Just like our next guest, Bridie Carter, who joins us now from her home in Byron Bay. Hello, Bridie.
Hi, how are you?
Hey.
We are great and you look great. 25 years since the show premiered. It feels like it only just ended. How does it feel to you?
I know, it's so very strange because I think, this show is a phenomenon. It's still so watched today, not only in Australia but around the world. And so I feel like it's as alive today as it was back then, which is so bizarre.
OK. Can we go back to the beginning, right? When you were first filming the series, before it even came out, what was the feeling like with the cast? Because with it, Australian actors, they go from one thing to the next thing. Did you think you were sitting in something really special?
Oh, look, I don't think you ever do. I think, we all gave it our best shot. It was an enormous show. It was shot entirely on film. It was entirely on location. We did no studio work. We were working with animals and children, all the no-nos. So none of us comprehended what and how successful it was going to be. But I think we all put our absolute hearts and souls into it. And it was a really hard yet incredibly rewarding show to film. So we did not know is the truth of it. And I don't think you ever did. And when we launched all those years ago and the success of the show, I think it blew us all away and we were also very proud.
We've been having a bit of a debate in the office that we're hoping you could help with. Saddest moments in TV history. You might be biased, but Claire's passing off the cliff. I mean, that must, I was going to say be up there, but like in a weird way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. Well, she was up there and then she came down.
Yes.
Don't want to make a terrible joke of an incredibly sad... Look, it's for Lisa Chappell and myself, it is the episode that we are the most proud of. It was an absolutely incredible ensemble piece of Australian television. Everybody worked on that so very hard. And to see, the death of such a favourite character, I can't... If I watch it today, like I know you're showing it now, I actually can't. I bawl my eyes out. I have this body memory that it all comes back. And because for Lisa and I, not only were Claire and Tess saying goodbye, but Bridie and Lisa were saying goodbye. And it was, I loved filming that. It was, as an actor, it was a great gift of work to be given.
Yeah, really memorable moment. Now, always whispers going around and around and around that there's a reboot of the series. Could happen. Maybe. Have you heard anything about that?
Look, I heard your last two stories and the people you were speaking with, The Castle and, Home Alone. And I'm going to shout out loud. I tried so very hard. I was behind it 1,000,000,000% with Posey Graham Evans. But the powers that be, I don't know, I'll say something rude, pull your fingers out. I still think it can be done and people are doing it everywhere and I don't know why we haven't. And I feel like our beautiful fans in Australia and around the world, they deserve it. Like we actually owe them something and I've got a million good stories and I would be back in the saddle in a second because to come back and play Tess McLeod all these years later would be just so very interesting. So, and there's so many more stories now. So yeah, I don't know what they're doing is all I can say.
Well, especially if you look at what's happening on the American TV scene with Taylor Sheridan and the whole Yellowstone franchise, all the stuff that he's doing is that big sky sort of landed stories. It's, it could be something.
Yeah, we have one. We have one right here.
Absolutely.
And, I need to probably go knocking on some doors again, I suppose.
Go and see Taylor Sheridan. Hey, your real life is now on a farm too. What's life like on your property?
It's hilarious. I'm an inner city girl from Melbourne. I suppose like Tess, it's just so very weird. Sometimes when I'm on my farm and I'm helping my husband and I am fixing a fence or I'm in the yard or I'm doing something or I'm trying to we've got baby calves sneaking out at the moment, I go, oh my God, this is so weird because it was never something that I thought would happen, but I love my farm and I think there's something very refueling about living 100% in nature, and especially for work as an actor, which is very internal and it's in my head and in my heart. So to live in nature is a great, I just love it.
Oh, it just looks beautiful. You posted this family pic on Instagram the other day. The kids are 21 and 16 now. Tell us about the kids. How are they going?
Well, they're big.
Yeah, right.
My son Otis is in Sydney at university, so that was a bit of a heart wrench when he moved out of home. And my other son's still at school, Toby, but yeah, they're my big, beautiful boys. Motherhood, I lost my mum when I was 9, so motherhood to me is I'm not one of those mothers who complain. I cherish motherhood, and it's been a great gift. And, Otis was born, I filmed with him in my tummy on McLeod's till I was 7.5 months pregnant.
Yeah,
so,
wow.
And then he was, I was back on set when he was 4 weeks old. So I feel like, unbeknownst to him, he doesn't remember obviously, but he was very much a part of that journey, and ultimately was why, I left in the end because, I had a 1-year-old and I needed to dedicate some time there before getting back in another saddle.
That could be the reboot, McLeod's Daughters' Sons.
Yeah,
nice. Nice ring to
from
it.
Argentina with a, speaks Spanish. There we go.
Because, like as you say, before you know it, they're 21 and living in Sydney, going to uni.
Yeah.
Like it goes by in a flash, doesn't it?
Well, like that.
Yeah, McLeod's aside, you're also an ambassador for Dolly's Dream, and we love that. It's such a beautiful cause, and it's a cause that's really important to you, Dolly's Dream.
It is. I had the privilege of, and I came on your show. I came to 7 not long ago for Do It for Dolly Day with Kate Everett, the beautiful Kate Everett, Kate and Tick. And, my heart is very aligned with their family, and I feel like Dolly is a sister. She's a daughter. She stands beside us. She so absolutely represents everything that McLeod's is. She was a beautiful, strong young woman, but she lost her life to suicide after horrific bullying, and she was a strong, beautiful girl. And when I heard her story way prior to Dolly's Dream, when it first happened, something resonated within me. No young person, no one, but particularly young people, should feel like they have no other answer than to take their own life. And so, Dolly's Dream is about educating people, workshops, going to far out, remote and rural Australia, and offering help to families and kids who've been bullied. And they have a 24-hour helpline that's available for young people, which is incredible. You can call a trained counsellor 13 Dolly any time of night or day. And so, I'm so proud to be a Dolly's Dream ambassador.
Beautifully said. Okay, now as we say goodbye, I don't know if you know this or not, but all the television executives from all the networks watch this show because they get back from the early open at pub now. They sit down, they're having their first margarita in the office,
must watch,
smoking a cigar. So they're listening now. What's your message? Just repeat that message again to all the network executives.
We have a show ready and waiting to happen. We have a global audience. McLeod's is still playing to over 200 territories today. And here's a challenge for Channel 7. Perhaps you'd like to steal something from 9. I don't know, putting it out there.
I thought you were just going to say pull your finger out. That would have been cool. But, okay.
No, I like that pitch a lot better.
That was good, solid
really
pitching.
Good,
Pull your finger out.
Yeah, great.